Howdy everyone and welcome back to the Game Theme. We have got a fantastic show for you this week, especially as a PlayStation State of Play and Tokyo Game Show brought us a ton of great announcements with lots of small shows hosted during the yearly event. This is going to be a long one, so let's get into it all. Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions celebrated the 10th anniversary of the studio with a special event titled Beyond the Strand, sharing the studio's plans for the next decade. There was surprisingly quite a bit of news. A trailer for Death Stranding Mosquito, a new animated movie set in the Death Stranding universe, was shown off. The film will use hand-drawn lines as a base that is then digitally used to create the full animation. Kojima Productions also shared that they are collaborating with Niantic on a new AR game that was only teased as being like a Death Stranding but real. Smaller announcements included news that the A24 Death Stranding film is progressing along, a Kojima credit card being released next year, and the studio teaming up with sake brand Zaku for a Luden's branded sake. The biggest news from the show, though, was the next big games from the studio. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, joined Kojima on stage to show off a trailer for OD. Opening up with a knock on a red door, we see some text that alludes to PT, confirming that Kojima will finally be exploring his horror hopes in OD. What follows is a gameplay demonstration set in a 3D scanned room, where the player revealed to be Sophia Lillis, lights some candles, and then gets grabbed by someone who made their way into the room. Kojima confirmed that OD Knock is only one part of the OD experience and will be built in Unreal Engine 5. Then, we got our first look at Physint, the action espionage project being made with PlayStation, through a poster. While people are speculating the person on the poster is Robert Pattinson, we did learn that Charlie Fraser, Don Lee, and Miyami Hamabe will be joining the cast of the game. While there was no gameplay, we did see a tech demo showcasing Hamabe's model. As for release dates, it seems OD should launch within the next couple of years, while Physint will definitely be a PlayStation 6 game. Before we get to TGS, there was an announcement this week I really didn't want to cover because it's just a thing that exists. Anyways, one of my friends wrote this story up for me, so these are not my own words. Our next announcement is from the hit mobile game PUBG Mobile, where they are collaborating with Sonic the Hedgehog and Skibidi Toilet. They will both face off in this crazy battle royale. I'll personally check this out myself and see if Sonic can defeat Skibidi Toilet just like he did Taboo in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In other industry news, Nintendo of America COO and President Doug Bowser announced that he will be retiring on December 31st. In his place, Devin Pritchard will step in. Congrats to Mr. Bowser on an amazing career, and good luck to Ms. Pritchard as she takes over. On to TGS. Tokyo Game Show brought us a lot of news, so you know what that means. Show recap time. Annapurna held a direct from Tokyo with 3 games revealed: Detopia, a gentle-paced puzzle adventure; People of Note, a turn-based RPG musical; and Demi and the Fractured Dream, an action-adventure game with a very beautiful art style. The next show came from RGG with Summit 2025. Yakuza Kiwami 3 was officially announced, remaking the classic game in the Dragon engine. Kiwami 3 will also be packaged with Yakuza 3 Gaiden Dark Ties, a new game that will see you play as Mine as he first steps into the underworld. Kiwami 3 and Gaiden 3 Dark Ties launch on February 11, 2026. Capcom also held the TGS 2025 online program, which brought us updates on all of their titles. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection was fully revealed as the next Mega Man collection, bringing all 7 DS games to modern platforms. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy will be receiving an update that adds a gallery mode, episode selections, and more languages, and there was also trailers for Onimusha Way of the Sword, Pragmata, and Monster Hunter Stories 3. Capcom also gave us our first look at Sea Viper's gameplay in Street Fighter 6 as she joins the game's roster on October 15th. Xbox made a huge splash at TGS with their own presentation. The show opened up with Phil Spencer revealing Gungrave Gore Blood Heat, a rebuild of the 2022 original, hoping to deliver a more modern and explosive feel. That was then followed by a new trailer for 007 First Light, revealing the newest member of the cast in Gemma Chan, one of my favorite actresses, taking on the role of Dr. Selena Tan, MI6's head of tactical simulation. IO Interactive also showed off the next Hitman collab, as Bruce Lee will join the game with a new mission where you take on the role of his bodyguard. The trailers kept on rolling as we saw new looks at Double Dragon Revive, Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, Animo, and Sudden Strike 5. Afterwards, Capcom showed off yet another Monster Hunter Stories 3 trailer for TGS Week, but that wasn't the only Monster Hunter reveal, as Stories 1 and 2 will both be coming to Xbox on November 14th. Speeding through more trailers, we got looks at Hotel Barcelona, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 Remake coming to Xbox on October 30th, Rhythm Doctor, the Japan World update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, a port of Romancing Saga 2, which is available right now, and a pretty stylish island farming game in Star Sand Island, launching on February 1st. It has pandas, so I'm totally in. Ninja Gaiden 4 then got one last big look into the game before its launch on October 21st, with a new training mode and Deluxe Edition content. Before the last reveal, there was trailers for Project Evilbane, Mistfall Hunter, Winter Burrow, Age of Mythology's Nets expansion, and Black Ops 7's Japan multiplayer maps. So, what was that final reveal? Well, Playground Games revealed Forza Horizon 6, which will see the Horizon Festival travel to Japan. Being one of the most requested locations from longtime fans, the devs said they can't wait to bring Japan's unique culture of cars, music, and fashion to life, and that this finally felt like the right time, technology-wise, to do the country justice. I personally can't wait to get back into another Horizon game and race through the countryside and even the streets of Tokyo when it launches in 2026. PlayStation showed up this week with a 30-minute state of play that did have some really big surprises. The show opened up with a look at Housemarque's Saros. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game will expand on Returnal's formula as players take control of Argent as he explores the shape-shifting planet of Carcosa while dashing, meleeing, jumping, and fighting his way through some very classic Housemarque enemies. Saros is set to launch on PS5 on March 20th, 2026. Following that, we got trailers for Zero Parties, releasing in 2026, the announcement of a port of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, releasing on December 8th, with PSVR 2 support in the works, and then EA showed up with a look at Battlefield 6's single-player campaign, showcasing the world players will be jumping into next month. One of my favorite announcements was Deus Ex Remastered, which will update the iconic game for modern platforms, being helmed by Aspyr, and with how great the Tomb Raider remasters have been, I'm really excited to jump into it in February of next year. We then saw trailers for Halloween the Game, releasing on September 8th, 2026, a port of Last Epoch for PS5, and its expansion, Abyss, which will launch with the PS5 version, a new look at the 7 Deadly Sins Origins set for January 28th, and finally, the announcement of the Mega Man DLC pack for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Koei Tecmo brought two announcements with them to the State of Play as we learned that Nioh 3 will be launching on February 6th and that a remaster of Dynasty Warriors 3 is set to launch on March 19th. Code Vein 2 then premiered a new trailer, revealing that the game is launching on January 30th. And after more trailers for Final Fantasy Tactics and Let It Die Inferno, a sequel to Let It Die that has evolved into an extraction game, we saw the reveal of ChronoScript The Endless End, a thrilling looking side-scroller with one of the most unique art styles I have personally ever seen. Very excited to play that next year. Then we got some hardware reveals with the Pulse Elevate wireless speakers, which allow instant switching between PC, Mac, PS5, and the PlayStation Portal, launching next year, and a special God of War 20th anniversary controller. The final reveal of this week's State of Play was a brand new trailer for Insomniac Games' Wolverine that gave us our first look at gameplay. The team seems to be bringing the same love they did with Spider-Man to Wolverine, as the trailer shows off just how brutal and violent the game will be, as one would expect out of a Wolverine game. We learned the iconic role of Logan will be played by Liam McIntyre, and we also saw the first villains we will face on our journey through places like Madripoor, Canada, and Tokyo, with Omega Red and Mystique making appearances. Insomniac said they are eager to explore Logan's story, and just from the dialogue we hear in the trailer, it seems they are 100% on the right track. The team said we can expect more news early next spring before its fall 2026 release exclusively on PS5. And that wraps up this week of the Game Team. Really busy week for news, and I hope we did most of it justice. The industry just keeps chugging along, so remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. I've been your host, Brandon Alanis, and I'll see you all soon.